Hello. Just behind the scenes, Andrew and I just stared at each other, just like, do you want to introduce this one? Am I going to introduce this one?
Well, in all fairness, we kind of normally take turns
Yes. Yeah.
between we got to record, this
And
podcast
you did,
and
and
then
come to
other
think of it,
funhouse.
you did. Yeah, you did introduce the last one.
I did. I
Yeah.
This
Oh
is
well, this
bad.
is the Retroactive Sports podcast. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us. That's Andrew. I'm Johnny. Two guys who are obviously very prepared.
I guess you could say that we spaced out.
Oh, oh, yeah. I think we can. We're out of this world, really.
Yes.
Yeah. And on this podcast, we talk about, retro sports stuff and also just the weird, strange, sometimes wacky, wild, definitely odd things in sports as well.
Yes. And Johnny has brought a weird combination, I think, of two worlds.
Yes. This is well before I knew about the Aaron Rodgers stuff, by the way.
Oh, which Johnny is still mad at me about.
Yes. Andrew knows that I love the UFO stuff. You got to talk to me about this. And it, recently, like as in this recording this week, Andrew, that this is true. The Mexican government had two scientists show the Mexican government, this was on TV and everything,
Yeah.
to what they claim to be. And these are Mexican scientists. They actually showed, as you can see pictures of them, two 1,000-year-old alien bodies. So do with that what you will. They look a little paper mache to me, but
Okay.
maybe they are. I mean, mummies are, I guess that. But there's that. Very fascinating.
Yeah.
But I had seen this article years ago about this football game in which there was a massive UFO sighting at it.
I
Right?
believe it was soccer.
There's been multiple different ones. It's happened a
Looks
bunch of different
looks a little
times.
soccer to me.
It's happened at a big time soccer game, which we're going to cover,
Hmm.
and it's also happened at a football game, an actual American football game. It's happened there
There we
too.
go.
But also, I did not realize that during this time, a certain Aaron Rodgers, who had a great first game, is who knew a 40-year-old man playing football would get injured in the first couple minutes of a game. By the way, I don't want anybody to get injured. I'm just saying,
That was
it
something I didn't see at all.
it really reminds. We're going to do an episode on this about debuts like that go wrong, but it brought to me immediately, and you'll know this being a Celtics fan, of a certain Hayward, his very first game,
Oh, geez.
very first play, and he was good. By the way, Hayward was a really good player before
And now
that,
he hasn't been the same.
and he hasn't been the same since. But yeah, that's travesty.
But the
But
Hornets gave him a bunch of money.
well, that's what we do. We just give people money, and it doesn't matter what you've done in your past. Just come on down. We're looking forward to seeing you, Porter Jr. I'm sure you're going to have a great time in Charlotte, just beating up everybody you see. Uh, but this thing with Aaron Rodgers, apparently, what's that show, Andrew?
Hard knocks.
On Hard Knocks, they're following the Jets this year, and during one of the segments,
To
how
be
did they set this up? Did this come out of nowhere, or was he asked about
well,
this?
to be fair, I normally watch Hard Knocks pretty much every year. And this wasn't like Hard Knocks New York Jets. This was Hard Knocks Aaron Rodgers, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So there was some Jets sprinkled in there with Aaron Rodgers. But how it happened was it was like in a practice and he calls over the head of security and it was like weird because I thought it was kind of cool. He's like, see that guy in the blue shirt? He's like, get him down here. That's my friend from college. So they're down there and he's talking between this and the security guy. He's talking about that's his friend. They played football together at Cal. That guy was ahead of him on the quarterback chart. He was like, I suck. Aaron's better than me. I'm kind of paraphrasing on this.
Yeah.
So that guy stepped aside and they were talking about one night where they were just having like just hanging outside having a beer or something and they just see what they feel is a UFO. Like it just like darts by real quick.
Yeah, and if you listen to him explain this, I wish we would have set this up. We could actually play the audio from it if I had thought ahead.
I'm
But
I I'm gonna try and
put it in somewhere.
yeah.
Okay. Well, he makes it sound, if you listen to him describing it, it sounds like it's from Independence Day.
Oh,
Basically, like it emerges from the clouds. There's fire there or something like that. And then it's not only does he see this UFO, they see this UFO, but he claims that he saw jets chasing it. I mean, not the football jets, but
well, he's not chasing much
He
of
saw the New
anything
York
these days.
Jets just chasing that UFO.
He's
And
not.
like most footballs, they didn't catch it.
Yeah, he's not chasing most of anything. Oh yeah, here's like a 22-second clip. I'll put it in
Okay, yeah.
so that
So
way he'll tell the story. So mark it here. Here's Aaron Rodgers' story.
Steve and his brother and I walked outside, and up in the clouds, we heard this sound and we saw this tremendously large object moving through the sky, and it was like a scene out of Independence Day when the ships are coming into the atmosphere and they're creating this kind of explosion type fire in the sky. We just saw this incredibly large object and froze, as anybody would, because what the hell was going on. And eventually it went out of sight, and nobody said a word. We just stood frozen, the three of us, on the front stoop of Steve's house. And about 30 seconds later, we heard the real recognizable sound of fighter jets going shoo, 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 that seemed to be chasing this object. And again, we just stood there in just disbelief for another few minutes. Nobody said a word. And then we all kind of looked at each other like, did we just see what we think we just saw? What was that? Eventually, 20 minutes later, we kind of wound down a little bit, went back to bed. And then you're still not really sleeping because you just experienced this bizarre experience. We looked in the papers and online the next few days, and there was nothing about it. That got me into researching more about UFOs. The siren or alarm had been from a nuclear power plant, which is about 9 miles away. And if you know anything about UFOs, there's a lot of sightings around nuclear energy, around volcanoes, around power plants. But yeah, Steve and I, great friends, teammates, and also witnessed whatever the hell it was. I don't know, but it was definitely unidentified. It was definitely flying. It was definitely a large object.
There we go. Okay.
Now, very good.
UFO. Let's do this real quick, Alien.
Alien?
Andrew. I'm about to call you Alien.
I'm gonna go by the name Alien today. Okay.
I was trying to say, do you believe in aliens, Andrew? And my brain jumbled that.
Does Alien believe in Andrews?
Aliens, do you believe in Andrew?
I do believe in Andrew. My new nickname is now Alien.
Alien, do you believe in Andrew? I'm very curious about this.
Yes, I do believe in Andrew. I think he's a great guy.
I mean, you should. The Mexican government just literally showed off a couple mummified Andrews just the other day. But Andrew, do you believe in aliens? Like, what's your thought on it?
I do, to a certain extent. I believe that we're not alone. This universe is too big.
Right. Yeah, agreed. I agree there. There's a couple things for me. So keep going.
I mostly joke like when people are like, "Oh, we've seen aliens. There's a UFO. There's this," and I always joke and do the Star Trek thing where we haven't invented warp drive yet, so the Vulcans won't come and see us. And but yeah, I believe that there's definitely something out there. The universe is way too big for us to be just the only planet with any living thing on it.
I agree completely. Yeah. Two ways to think about this though. Well, before we even get into that, I mean, even our government has the U.S. government, I forget where other people listen to us, the U.S. government has even admitted, hey, there's stuff that we don't know what it is, right?
They're Andrews. No.
There's Andrews everywhere. But it's I'm with you. The universe is too big for us to be the only living thing. But also at the same time, I heard somebody bring this up, and I thought about it. I was like, that does make sense too. That same idea that the universe is so big, why do we feel we're so important that these other, obviously more advanced civilizations would want to see what we're doing? I kind of think maybe we're like a vacation spot, but it's like a point where like just see these idiots.
Yeah, I could see it's probably maybe the reason why they haven't touched down is kind of the Star Trek Prime Directive thing. Maybe they have Prime Directive where they cannot interfere, or
even though honestly, Star Trek really broke their Prime Directive left and right all the time.
Yes. I'm just trying to think of something why they
I know. I got you. You gotta protect those Andrews, man. Can't let them know. But yeah, so I'm with you. I think we're on the same boat here. There's obviously something out there, but I would guarantee you like 95% of the sightings can be explained right easily.
Yes.
They're misidentified things.
I did finally look at those Phoenix lights that you and Matt were talking about on Retro Pop.
Yeah.
And that is a little alarming because they just float.
Yeah, there's a very famous Phoenix lights. They're called the Phoenix lights. Is UFO sighting, a massive UFO sighting with multiple, like a whole city of Phoenix saw these things, and that's why it's even more interesting to me. Like it's when there's just a mass sighting of where so many people see something, then it adds a little bit more to it for me. And that's kind of where we're going with this too, in my opinion, because these are sightings at sporting events, right? Where there's obviously more than one person seeing these things. Like let's talk about that soccer game, Andrew.
Yeah, don't call it football, please
don't. Or football, depending on where you're from.
I will give them football.
Yeah, it's football. It's got the little, what are those things called over the U?
Why did I almost say app or samp? That's definitely not it.
We don't use them in English. They're very Andrew to me, so I'm not.
Did you see? All those illegal Andrews? I'm sorry. I don't care about that. I just wanted to just keep on using
if you thought for a second I wasn't going to try to work in an illegal Andrew joke at some point, you don't know me.
Please do.
But yeah, so on October 27th, 1954, in Florence, the mighty, this is according to BBC.com, the mighty, I'm going to mispronounce all this again, even though I speak English, I don't talk it very well. The mighty Fiorentina, I nailed that club, was playing against their local rival. Oh, God help me. The Pistoiese. And there was like 10,000. Of course, Andrew, here in America, while soccer is definitely growing,
yes,
it's nowhere near what it is in Europe or other countries.
No, I mean, I make my little jokes, don't call it football, but I do respect the sport in other countries and what it means to other fans.
Agreed. And I think soccer is also, again, for me, one of those sports where I wouldn't ever watch it on TV, but honestly, if I go to a game, they're fun.
I couldn't watch it on TV.
Yeah, I can't see. I was the same way with hockey, but when I actually went to a hockey game, I had a great time. So that's kind of what same thing with baseball for me. I'm that with baseball too. So.
I think because you're there.
Yeah.
So there's no other distractions.
Right.
And you're there. So, your phone is still in your pocket. You can pick it up. But in a way, in some of these things, depending on where you're sitting, you might not want to play on your phone because there are nets now, but things do happen. Stray bats and stuff like that.
Yeah. So these two rivals are going at it at this game. And it's around halftime when people notice something up in the sky. Is it an Andrew? Let's find out. Uh, according to Artico, and I'm sorry, I know that's probably not how he pronounces it. Magnini or Magnini, he's a big time soccer player for Italy. This is a quote from him. I remember everything from A to Z. It was something that looked like an egg that was moving slowly, slowly, slowly. Everyone was looking up, and also there was some glitter coming down from the sky. Silver glitter. We were astonished. We had never seen anything like it before. We were absolutely shocked. Now, Andrew, there's a lot to take in here. The biggest thing to me being, if you're like me, I hate glitter. That stuff goes everywhere. You can't get it off.
Funny because my wife accidentally bought the wrong lotion, and it's
It's
rather sunny in
glitter.
Texas. And all of a sudden, we were driving, and I looked down, and I'm like, "Why do you have glitter on you?" So I understand that fully, but it was just the like, I don't know what she bought, something with glitter in it. Like you're like sparkly like a bath boat.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was so. The thing that got me on this one is like the football game or soccer, as I just totally mess up the football game and the glitter. Like
Yeah.
everything seems normal. Person sees UFO, egg
And then there's
shape,
glitter all of a sudden. Yeah.
but there's glitter, and why is it sprinkling down on these mass like this mass of people?
Now, it is not unheard of for strange stuff to fall from the sky. Like that's happened a bunch of times throughout history. But what makes this even more odd is this is happening while they're witnessing a strange object in the sky. Obviously, putting the two together kind of connected them. And I don't think that's really happened very often. But there's been plenty of times where strange, odd stuff is falling from the sky and they don't know what it is. I mean, that's happened in America even quite a few times. But yeah, so there's so many people. Like I said, this was a packed stadium. 10K people are here, and they all see this. But it's not just this. The whole town sees this. There were numerous UFO sightings at this time in many towns across that area, and in the days that followed. And I was trying to find but you're right. The thing that's really weird about this is that, oh, here it is. I was trying to find the quote. It is a fact that at the same time the UFOs were seen over Florence, there was a strange sticky substance falling from above. In English, we call this angel hair. So that's the only problem is after a short period of time, this stuff would disintegrate. So they like after when you're trying to study it, it just kind of goes away.
Yeah, they talked about like going into the woods, finding it, and then all of a sudden they did try to study it and do it, and then once they actually did go through the stuff, it like evaporate because of the tests.
Yeah, you know, Andrew during our I don't know about you, but when I was a teenager, if we found stuff in the woods, it was either a good time or a bad time.
It's pretty true here too.
Yeah.
Pretty true here.
But yeah, but
Where I'm,
there's
well, I don't know about here, but true from where I grew up at. Yeah.
right, yeah, yeah. Uh, I think we're both kind of lucky in that we grew up in areas that uh, a lot of trees and woods. That was great as a kid. But yeah, so that was that. It was a mass sighting. Started at a football game, really a football game,
Football.
and became famous. There was also a sighting. I want to say it was a Steelers game in the
Yes.
70s.
Three River Stadium in '79 between the Steelers and the Cowboys.
Yes. And something was seen in the sky, and people were like, "What is this thing?" If I'm thinking right, this is when somebody later would come out and say, "My dad made a kite that looked like a UFO."
I was just reading that this is a UFO kite. It is intended to look like a UFO exactly.
Yeah, but that's
That's
really weird to me. Like how
why would that's like, and that's in quotes. So who's like, this is a UFO kite?
high can that
I'm
kite
just,
go?
I don't know. It depends on, well, Philadelphia, there's, or in the Pennsylvania area, there's another famous kite flyer in there too. But I don't know.
Like I don't know if that I don't know enough about that to say one way or the other. But
Yeah,
I have. I don't want to brag, Andrew, but I've flown a kite before.
yeah,
They don't go near as high as you think.
yeah. I guess he did it in England and or well as well. Jeez, because it caused a traffic wreck.
Yeah,
I like the traffic wreck. I would have
a
said
traffic wreck.
that's
Yeah,
he did it in England and caused some kind of traffic wreck in front of Buckingham Palace, and he got into all kinds of trouble for that.
so he did it again apparently, or tried to do it again.
Yeah, but why would you?
Like what? I don't understand it either. It's got to be a kite that goes ridiculously high if that's what it is.
Yeah, they don't even have a picture of the kite.
Yeah, little suspect if you ask me.
I'm just gonna look up Steelers kite. Like I can understand there's not many pictures for the football game. Oh, you can
Yeah,
actually buy a Steelers kite. Um and that one, there's not many pictures, in which understandable. I mean, there is photo photography back then. The article came out in 2014, 60 years ago. I don't even know what that is. Math. But yeah, there's not even like a really picture of any of this unless you actually want to buy a Steelers kite.
yeah, yeah.
But why would you just streak the game? Don't do that.
Yes. Either way, we're going to see a foreign object.
Yeah, but I think that's the most interesting one is the whole just if flying over Italy and then doing that drop.
Yeah, yeah. That was a very fascinating one.
So
But throughout our history, there's been all kinds of really fascinating, interesting UFO sightings. But that one actually took place during a sporting event, which is even more wild to me.
yeah, maybe they maybe they like their soccer.
Now, Andrew, one thing I got really excited about is you found this article,
Yes.
and what's this article about?
Oh, this is from Bleacher Report, August 10th, 2012. See once again, Tester or Wayne Tesseri. I'm gonna go with that. 5 athletes who possibly could be Andrews or aliens, as
Yes.
normal people call
All right, now before you give me this list, I decided I was going to try my best to think of who would be on this list. And I wrote here in my notes possible alien athletes. I only came up with one name.
them. Who's that?
Uh, to me, it's very obvious it's Sam Cassell.
Sam Cassell is not on this list.
Have you seen him?
Yes. I am a big Sam Cassell fan.
I love Sam Cassell. The dude was a beast when he played. A very underrated point guard, but also kind of looks like an alien a little bit.
3 championships too.
Yeah,
Uh,
heck of a player, a legend for sure. But also, to me, looks a little alien.
so the first one here that he mentions is John Daly, and you're gonna say he's an
The
alien.
golfer?
Yes, guy. This is from the article. Excuse me. A guy who can launch a golf ball into the stratosphere exhibits traits that put him in a world of his own. Just look at the way he dresses. What human could even wear a pair of rainbow enhanced pants with pink fuchsia shirt? So that's his thing on that one. But also, the man chain smokes like a champ, and all he drinks is Diet Coke. There you go. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I said Diet Coke, and all he drinks is Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Say the movie. I know you want to.
I mean, it's obvious he's got to be alien because he knows and he's learned from that documentary Mac and Me that Coke can help save aliens or androids alike. We learned that on the Nostalgia Funhouse podcast.
Yes, we did.
As Andrew loses his voice, he's becoming more and more alien before my eyes.
Oh my goodness. Like getting transformed. I feel like what's his name from Men in Black? More sugar, please.
Oh yeah. Vincent. Oh god, what's his last name?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yes, that dude's amazing. Great, fantastic actor.
Really?
But yeah, I did think of another athlete
Okay.
that may not be on there. What about Kawhi Leonard? This might be
Why
before.
Leonard is not on this list.
How's he not on there? This
This is
dude is.
2012 though. When did
Oh
he?
yeah, that's true. He probably just a little bit after that. I'm just even thinking about his laugh. Do you remember a very famous Kawhi laugh that he did? Yes.
We do that a lot in my house. If somebody tells a joke that we don't really find too funny, sometimes we'll go, here's one of my favorite baseball players of all time, Jose Canseco. You only have to take a look at his nonstop tweets. I'm not on Twitter, so
Or X, as it's called
oh,
now.
sorry. So Canseco, I guess, has many online messages that are as cryptic as they are strange.
I do remember this trending because he talked about a lot of weird stuff.
And they said perhaps these are just cries for attention, or maybe these are digital communications that are Jose's way of trying to secretly contact the mothership. He does a lot of steroids. He just blackballed from anything in baseball because he outed a bunch of people. So I would have to go. I'd maybe push the John Daly thing because of the Diet Coke. And maybe there is some scientific fact behind that one, but I think we should do this. Jose Canseco, do you think he's an alien or a regular person?
I think he's a person who just likes attention.
I'm gonna go with you.
Which I don't blame. Nothing wrong with that. I'm a person who also likes attention, so I get it.
All right. Do you have any other more guesses?
I think I had two very solid ones, and I'm really disappointed they're not on this list.
We have three more. So next one is Nolan Ryan, which I don't know. Nolan Ryan was a pitching machine. His robotic-like power and precision were out of this world, regularly throwing strikes over 100 miles per hour. To this day, his 5,714 career strikeouts remain a record no human may ever challenge. There's a good point there because this guy pitched until he was like 45 years old and he was throwing 100-mile rockets down.
That does remind me, there's a very incredible X-Files episode that's about this baseball player who's doing some incredible stuff, but you find out that he's alien. He's an actual alien.
Maybe Nolan Ryan is.
Yeah.
Maybe he came down and now he makes ground beef and steaks, which are delicious. Yes, he does. In Texas, if you're a Texas hero, there's a good chance you have a food product and it is some type of beef. There's a very famous football player, Earl Campbell, and you can eat his hot links and sausage if you want. Well, that sounded wrong. You can eat his food as well. As long as
anytime I'm in Texas, I just keep looking behind me because I was told that's where a Ranger's going to be.
Oddly enough, Nolan Ryan was a Texas Ranger. Well, baseball team.
Now, are they the ones who cheated?
He was also a California Angel.
Oh, I'm more a fan of the California Raisins.
Do you think Nolan? I'm gonna go in the middle here. Say maybe.
I'm going to say I am skeptically optimistic.
Okay.
So that's literally straddling the fence.
Here's one that I'm very upset that you didn't come up with.
Okay.
Okay. Between his many tattoos and body piercings, Dennis
Oh,
Rodman
Dennis Rodman. Yeah.
is
As soon as you
definitely a
said
candidate.
tattoos, I was like, oh, yeah, yep, yep.
Yeah. Do you think Dennis Rodman's an alien? He has
Yes, a
that
million percent.
weird growth spurt and everything else. I'm gonna say Dennis Rodman's an alien.
His story, there's a really great ESPN documentary on him that I recommend people watching. It might have been one of those 30 for 30s,
30s, yeah.
but it's really, really good. So even his upbringing is different from other people's. Uh, and on top of that, he's just obviously, and I mean this in the best way possible, a strange dude.
And he's also a member of the NWO.
And he's the reason why uh, the NBA outlawed the number 69 on a jersey because he was like, I want that number.
I was really upset he didn't dress like Hollywood Hogan during that wrestling match with against Carl Malone and DDP.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, Carl Malone dressed up.
What a match! The only decent person in that is DDP. Everyone else has a bit of a problem in their history.
Oh yeah, yeah. DDP's the only
He's the only one I can think of who's only up and up out of all those four.
that actually helps people. Everything else.
That's another great topic. I know we do this a lot. It's a drinking game if we break up a topic for another show on this show. Uh, fun, interesting people who were in a wrestling match. Because I immediately started thinking about Jay Leno.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Jay Leno. Wrestled Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Joe Rogan out there.
I don't think he'd take a bump though.
Why?
I just don't see him wanting to take a bump. I don't think he likes wrestling either. I think he's kind of against it.
He said something to Hogan that I think he has a respect for it now after he interviewed like the Undertaker and stuff.
Yeah.
He knows it's predetermined and everything else, but he knows what they put their body through in the
yeah.
Hogan pointed that out. That you could call it, you could call it fake, it is predetermined, but everything else in the middle is real.
Oh yeah, just watch how some of these guys walk around now. You like, yeah, that's obviously something. And side note, if you want to have just a great time, just go back and listen to that Rogan Hogan interview. It is
the Rogan
Hogan interview. That's anything that Hogan says that comes out of his mouth is incredible. And by the way, believe zero of it.
Yeah.
If you don't know anything about wrestling.
There's a great Jim Cornette episode where they just go through
all the Hogan
like
lies.
30 minutes of
Yeah.
all of Hogan's lies.
He's got more now after this.
Oh, geez. There's a guy that has a problem with attention. But this is a guy you probably definitely wouldn't have known. He is a former pitcher for the Montreal Expos and Boston Red Sox. Pitcher Bill Lee.
Oh, the guy from Double Dragons, yeah.
Hit left hand chuckers tend to walk a little weird. Yes, they do. But Lee's never ending quest to redefine logic and his unmatched antics, both on and off the field, are truly out of this world. His nickname is even Spaceman.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So I guess he was a weird guy. I don't know too much about Bill Lee, but I guess he was kind of a weird guy.
Yeah.
You got to have a name Spaceman.
I think so. Yeah.
Do you? Let's see.
So let's add to this list. I think Kawhi should be put on it.
It's Tom Brady, an alien.
Oh, he's got to be right. He played really good for like longer than usual.
Yeah.
You can probably put LeBron in that same aspect too, for going by that. Still, no matter what you think of him, still playing at a high level at his age is pretty alien.
There's a rookie quarterback, Will Levis or whatever his name is. I think he may be an alien because he puts mayo in his coffee.
What?
You heard me.
All right, now I hate coffee in general. I just don't like coffee. I'm not a coffee guy. I don't even like the smell of it. Like I'm weird in that aspect. But I do know for a fact that you don't put mayonnaise in it.
Yes, he puts mayo. There's actual videos of him squeeze bottle mayo right into the coffee.
So weird.
Yeah, that's super weird. Put
Yeah,
Patrick Holmes on that too for putting ketchup on his steak. What's wrong with you, Patrick?
I've done that though. I can't say anything.
Johnny, what is
I,
wrong?
I like my ketchup, man. I don't know what to tell you. Now I have grown. Now it's Heinz 57 sauce.
Oh, okay.
I did
Uh,
grow.
trying to think of somebody else that's like kind of weird and kooky that could be an alien. Who could be an alien? I can't think of anybody else. Maybe Belichick's an alien and that's why he doesn't talk too much.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, Belichick's a good one. He kind of reminds me of Greg Popovich a little bit. They're kind of in that same vein of they don't like to talk very much, but are legendary coaches.
Who could be an alien? That's a very good topic. Like
Yeah.
just there's
So, who do you think could be an alien if you listen
yeah.
to this? What are some and why? Let us know why, and I'm looking forward to seeing these.
And you know what's a good question? If visitors were to come to our world, sat down, and they were like, I would like to see a sporting event,
Oh yeah.
and see your finest athletes. Who would you take them to go see, and what events would you take them to go see?
See, this is a good question because you do want to show them the best athletes, but also in my mind, what's the easiest game to kind of comprehend right off the bat? Because if you're an alien, you don't know any of these sports, you've never seen them before, so you're coming into it completely blind, right?
Yeah.
You don't know nothing about it. To me, and obviously all of our sports have nuances and stuff to them. But to me, the easiest one to explain would be baseball, wouldn't it? You hit a ball with a stick and you run around the base.
I thought basketball.
I mean, you put a ball through a hoop through both sides.
I
Well,
think
honestly,
when
you
you
probably
break
could which
down,
one.
I think you break down anyone. I
Yeah.
think the hardest one would be out of like the four major sports, even I know soccer is slipping in there, is like hockey, you put the puck in the net. Um,
I mean,
football,
if you break them down to their essence, yes.
yeah.
But I wouldn't show them football or hockey because we don't want them to know how violent we are.
Don't show them 1980s basketball then.
Oh no, it's purely 2000 teens and onwards.
Dude, we're not showing them Kermit Washington and Rudy Tomjanovich.
Oh, poor Rudy, man. Talk about a real Rudy moment.
Oh, geez.
Literally almost died from a punch.
Yeah. But I think that's like who not only is like who is an alien, but what would we show the aliens?
Yeah.
If I didn't think I'd get ripped on Facebook, because God, I hate the internet sometimes, I would actually put that in a question.
Oh yeah. It would just literally turn into everybody saying what their favorite sport is and why. That's what it would turn into, and why the other sports suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing I hate the most. Please stand up for your fandom, what you enjoy, and tell us why you enjoy it. But there's literally zero need to bring other ones down to bring that up, no matter what. That's the thing I hate the most in any argument. You know, these whole MVP things, like the GOAT arguments are the best ones. Like, why do I need to destroy this one person to bring up the other person? Like, that's a stupid way to do it,
I
in
have
my
a
opinion.
I have a goat argument Monday through Friday every single night.
I know
But
you do. You tell
it's
me.
it's turned into more from an argument to us just throwing jabs at each other about each person.
Oh, that's more fun. But I'm talking to these people who take it really seriously and they're throwing like just venomous hate towards
Yeah. No,
somebody they've never met, by the way.
like the guy that I have the fight with, he wasn't there, and I was like, "Oh, what are you, load management, like LeBron and stuff like that?"
A Kawhi. One of
Yeah,
the funniest things right now is the NBA just passed this rule that it will limit quote unquote rest games for stars and stuff. And somebody put an end of an era, and it was just Kawhi Leonard and Paul George together. The end of the era is because they won't be able to just arrest all their games anymore.
yeah, I'm kind of happy they're doing it, but I guess LeBron is completely 100% exempt because they put in
and there's an age rule to it.
An
If you're a
age
certain age
rule.
and an all-star and all this kind of stuff. I man, the only this is a whole different argument, but I'm glad they're doing this just from a fan standpoint of like, I can only imagine what it'd be like if I was a kid finally getting to go to my first NBA game. And I'm a big fan of Steph Curry, just throwing a name out there, Steph Curry. And the Warriors are finally playing my team, which I'm on the East, or I'm going to play once, really.
Yeah.
But he's not there. Curry would show up because his dad and his family live here, but you know what I mean? Like, let's just say he's not playing, so you don't get to see Steph play that one time you were hoping to see Steph play.
Well, the players bring the money into the league, and without bringing money into the league, there's no money for the players.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
kind of that's how it falls into. But that is it. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook as well. And I guess I'll see you on the other side of the galaxy.
And we love you all, no matter from humans to Andrews alike.